What it do, Demi Squad? We are reacting to why Coryxkenshin and Mavattack are no longer friends. Let's see what's to this, man, because these two are one of my favorite YouTubers, man. Let's see what's to this, G.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angelo, but a lot of you know of me as Mavattack. Now, I'm not typically somebody who makes videos like this or finds a need to make videos like this. I think stuff like this is actually kind of ridiculous, but I felt it was necessary, not just for a lot of people who were stuck in some sort of realm of confusion, didn't know what was going on with our friendship, hadn't seen us create videos together in like 5 years, but still kind of
I'm one of those people. I'm also one of those people who's curious as to why they haven't made a video. But let's see. I guess we can find that out.
held on to that. This is for those people, and this is for myself also, to tell my truth, get this off of my plate and off of my chest. Like the title of the video says, Coryxkenshin and I are no longer friends. We no longer associate with each other. And a few key reasons why this video is even being made in the first place is, number one, a lot of you guys have found my channel through our collaborations in the past. You've kind of held on to that or stuck around just to wait and see and hope that we're going to work together again. This is for the ones who are actually curious and genuinely wanted to know. Even now to this day, I still get comments asking about us, asking about when our next collaboration is. Sometimes when he steps away, asking where he is still. And we're going on like the 6th, 7th year, maybe even longer, where this has persisted and been a thing. But to provide clarity after such a long period of confusion, I got to go back to the beginning. Now, Corey and I met each other back in 2014. We were both on a podcast, and we ended up being mutuals. And, we hung out a little bit, played some games here and there, found a mutual enjoyment. Like, we really connected with each other. We really, enjoyed each other's company, which was really cool. And that's pretty much around the time I had found his channel, Five Nights at Freddy's, some of his RPG horror gameplay playthroughs. We decided to collaborate a little bit. We wanted to, potentially
Let me know if y'all want to see a couple of RPG playthroughs.
Or together, make some content together, whatever. Now, when you're working with people or friends and you're in the same realm, kind of like working around each other, doing the same things, of course, you're going to bounce ideas off of each other. You're going to be inspired by some of your fellow coworkers, your friends, things like that. And after time, there were just a lot of similarities in some of the stuff that we were producing.
But yeah, y'all, let me know if y'all want to see some RPG horror game playthroughs, man. Let me know what's up, G. Let's get up into this. Let's keep this going.
I remember, in fact, even up to this day, getting comments telling me to quit copying him, like just stop trying to be him. So that was one form of comment from that audience base that kind of stuck with me and kind of messed with me over time. But Corey, obviously, as you guys know, was rising and his stuff was going, and it was really dope to see him working and grinding behind the scenes to make that stuff possible and not lose the momentum that he was gaining from everything that he was doing, which was dope. While I was working on my own stuff, trying to just figure out what my niche was, what direction I wanted to take things, I was less in the gameplay realm and more so reviewing, doing news, some gameplays here and there, but for the most part, it was more analytical stuff. Throughout his growth and work, there were times where he would have to step away, whether it was for mental health or just because that's how he is. He needs to pull back and kind of like give himself some time to breathe, which is completely understandable. That's the type of person that he is. But during those times, there would be repercussions and backlash from working together, being colleagues, where not just myself, but other people who would work with him, we would all see a wave, an influx of people who would come and bombard our comment sections, our DMs, our mentions, all of it, nonstop, asking where he's at, when's he going to be back. And initially it was okay. It wasn't like it was a big deal, but as the climb grew and grew and grew, because he is one of the biggest YouTubers on this platform, eventually it's...
Okay, I just want to go into it like a person commented on one of his videos or whatever and said, stop trying to copy Corey. I have a comment for that, but I'm not sure. We're going to see.
Started to become a little bit out of control, a little bit hard to manage. And for me, eventually it got to the point where it was messing not only with my mental health, but with my business. To log on to YouTube or Twitter or wherever to upload content that you feel really passionate about, like really feeling good about a lot of this stuff, to get in there and to see more comments asking about somebody else than your own work, it starts to affect you. Now, when you're in the mindset of kind of like taking other people's words and opinions or or just their feedback into consideration instead of valuing your own and holding your own thoughts about your own work in really high value. It's hard not to take the opinions and thoughts of other people into consideration when you're talking about value, because a lot of people take that materialistic stuff and kind of look at that as if like that's a measure of their worth, or if that's a calculation of their value, which is completely false. I had to learn that.
How I look at it, how I look at the shit, you either like my content or you don't. If you don't watch it. It's that fucking simple. If you do, watch it, like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't, then don't. It ain't nothing else to it. Am I gonna feel some type of way on what you said? Not really. Cause I'm known not to give a fuck. Like, fuck.
Over time, that all that really mattered was how I felt about what I was producing, putting out, or the growth that I was making, or whatever it was. But to have that nonstop, it took a toll. And this is 5, 6, 7, could be more than that. I don't know how many years at this point, but it still persists. And like I said, we haven't really been close for quite some time. So between that sort of back and forth and me being afraid to express myself, because I had always thought that maybe there was a little bit too much inspiration taken from my own works, doing skits before, like gameplays and stuff, doing live action stuff incorporated with gameplays to sort of evolve them to make them less of a just here I'm sitting here playing a video game, to more just like, hey, let's make this live, interactive, let's do some things. I had just graduated from film school, so I really wanted to put my knowledge into practice, but I couldn't help but feel like part of that was being taken. And part of my problem was not expressing that and not being a good friend to say, hey man, I feel like you can be inspired by somebody and you could definitely want to do what somebody else is doing, but it felt a little more blatant. It felt a little more, this is kind of like my livelihood. Like, this is what I enjoy doing, as far as like evolving some of the stuff that other YouTubers or entertainers or whatever were doing at the time with gameplay. Is I felt really good about that. And I started to notice it trickle more and more in. And I didn't express that at the time, which was a fault of mine, 100%. I can admit to that. But throughout time, some of those lingering feelings about that, and definitely the taking breaks and the massive influx of where is he? Where did he go? Do you know where he is? When are you going to work again? It broke me down. It broke me down in a big way, because I didn't feel like I was able to benefit off what I was creating. I felt like somebody else was benefiting off of what I was doing. And not only that, I felt like I was being stepped on or overshadowed by this person. And because of that, I didn't make the best choices. I didn't make the best decisions as a friend. There was never any point in time of us being friends that I ever took his success into consideration as far as our friendship had went. I don't care about what he's accumulated. I didn't care about any of the money that he had gained from what he had accumulated. I cared about none of that. And I know there's a lot of people that care about that stuff, because this world, unfortunately, is fueled by that. Too many people care about it.
When it comes to a friendship, y'all friends. Don't look at Anyway, sorry about that. When it comes to a person's friendship, it's like it really doesn't matter what that person is doing. If that's your friend, that's gonna be your friend. If they coming up before you, okay, yeah, that's cool, but that's still your friend. It doesn't matter how y'all coming up. It doesn't matter what y'all doing. If y'all got a friendship, then stay solid to that friendship. Fuck all that other shit. Don't let the media, don't let all this bullshit fuck y'all friendship up. Don't let it do that. No, if y'all truly friends, then all this other shit don't matter. Just stay solid to your friendship, and that's just that. Ain't nothing else to it, bro. Real talk.
Materialistic things, and that's unfortunate, because that's the way that society is. That's the way that it's been constructed, is to care about money and to care about possessions. And I've never been a person to care about that. I've cared about connections. I've cared about goodwill and positive, good energy and good people.
Y'all, I've been saying this since I was a kid. Money is the root of all evil. It turns people against each other. It causes corruption.
And Corey is a good person.
Facts.
And I don't ever think he intended for things to get this bad for his friends. And so I didn't make the best decisions. I didn't defend him when people were talking crap on his name, partially because I had felt that there was a piece of it that was actually true, but also because I was scared and I was far, far away from how I am now. How I'm not afraid to express myself and speak my truth and to let people know that they're in the wrong. And I felt horrible for doing that as a friend, to not speak up for my friend. But I also allowed my frustrations from everything that had led up to this point to seep into conversations with other people, nasty people who went and spouted that on the internet, that went and told things that were told in private to public forums and told people about some of the things I was frustrated about. So because of that, I felt guilt, and I held guilt with me, till one day I decided to mention it to him and come clean and apologize for holding some of that stuff against him and telling certain things to the wrong people, all being frustrated because you can't put out a 5-second tweet to let everybody know that you're okay, instead of letting everybody come pester your friends when it would literally take that much time to do it. And then I have to log on to my, video game.
You can't let everybody have something to say about y'all's friendships, especially seeing how y'all two, Mav and Corey, y'all two are one of the biggest YouTubers out here. Y'all can't let everybody have something to say to y'all shit, because they gonna fuck something up, or they're gonna at least attempt to, man.
Networks and see that they're playing video games, so you value playing video games more than giving your friends a little bit of freedom, a little bit of space. And I know in his mind, just saying things would have not alleviated that to the point where it would have made us feel a little bit better, but it would have. So the frustration with that and just everything else had boiled up to me expressing myself to people I shouldn't have been expressing myself to. So I apologize for that. And he accepted my apology and we moved on.
I know exactly the type of people he's talking about. He's talking about the manipulators, the contradicting motherfuckers, the motherfuckers who will manipulate you, make you feel like you in the wrong the whole time. You wrong about some shit, but they're gonna make you feel like you right. Them the type of motherfuckers you don't need around you, because they're gonna play your mind and they're gonna get you killed. Like, nah, fam. Them type of people folks don't need to be around. All good people, all my good people just like me, stay away from them type motherfuckers, man.
Move forward. I did my best to continue to reach out, want to play some games here and there, just getting back on track. That was my whole point, was clean slate. I want to get back on track. Let's move on from this. But I felt radio silence for a while, and it felt as if things were not the same. And if you have a feeling, deep down inside of you, like, trust in that, believe in that, because more often than not, that gut feeling is probably because
if you don't like something and it has something to do with your friend, let that person know instead of just holding it in. Don't do that. Always keep it a buck with your friends. If that's really your friend, they're going to listen and understand you.
Because it's true. The reason you feel so strongly is because it's true. And then going back to my texts and just seeing like 6, 7 unanswered texts and not realizing it until finally it was time to say, like, whoa, like, this all feels different. Something about this has changed, and you can feel the atmosphere of the friendship change. And it was hard not to jump to conclusions like this, like our friendship is actually over, because people were messaging me literally on social media like, hey, did you know he took you out of his friends tab on YouTube? And I think that is so stupid. Top friends lists and all this.
That shit right there. Motherfuckers be trying to start shit. They be trying to start fucking conflict. They be trying to get content creators to nut heads. Why? So you can have something to screen record and post about? Like, goddamn, what's the point of that? That shit is dumb. And if you really know Coryxkenshin and you really know Mav, they don't do that type of shit. They not like that. They not them type of YouTubers.
This stuff that value where your friendships, I think that is the dumbest stuff. I definitely looked, and these were some of like the first signs that I guess subconsciously told me that our friendship was over, but I didn't want to believe it. I just believed that, hey, maybe he did that because, I did take a 2-year break. I got rid of like everybody I purged my account. So there was no personal grudge or anything against anybody. I was just done. I had confirmed to myself that I was done. I have to get my life together if I'm going to return back to this. And I put the final stamp on it, but I didn't know that I was going to come back to this. And what I came back to was a lot of unhealed wounds, a lot of opened up stuff that unfortunately not only me had to deal with, but I continued to be me and do my best to just be there, keep up contact, because I'm difficult when it comes to that. A lot of my closer friends know, well, the few closer friends I do have, they understand that sometimes you're in your grind, sometimes you're in your flow, you're doing your thing, but this didn't feel like a doing your thing in your flow sort of thing. It felt personal. And because so much has changed for me, I wasn't going to take the disrespect anymore. And I will not take the disrespect anymore from anyone. So I sent one final text letting him know, like, I don't care, man, about anything that you've accumulated. This had only been about our connection because I felt strongly about this person. I have struggled with friends and being social most of my life. It's been very difficult for me. So to have people that you connect with on that level, they don't feel like just baseless connections and friendships, which a lot of those came from knowing him. A lot of people that wanted to weasel their way in came from knowing him. And it was so hard to make a distinction between who was genuine, who was a good person, and who was hateful, envious, who wanted to use and utilize anything that they feel like they could. And that
Ooh, from the hood, we call them snakes. They deceiving. They'll talk it up. They'll make you think that they have your back, but when it really comes down to it, they the one that's putting the gun to your head while you turned around. Don't trust them motherfuckers, man. Them snakes.
was hard. This wasn't about any of that, man. So I let him know I'm done. I'm good. He replied in the way that he felt like he needed to, and then that was that. But basically, this was my decision. This wasn't because of finances. This wasn't because of any of that stuff. This was a clear line that had been crossed. I tried my absolute best to apologize, to make up for it, and that wasn't accepted with open arms. And instead, I had a grudge held against me, and I wasn't going to take the disrespect. Look, Corey did a lot for me, and I'll forever be grateful. He brought in a large influx of people, new eyes, a new audience that could potentially help boost our stuff and just support what we had going on. And there was a lot of financial help that he did in doing that. And just outside of that, he did a lot. And I never had to ask. He did that on his own free will. There were times we'd be hanging out, and he would cover things, just jump the gun and do it. And I'd be ready to pay, and he would just jump. Like, that's the type of person that he is. So it's never about money. I quit a job I had to spend more time with him. This was never about any of his materialistic shit. This wasn't because he wasn't financially benefiting me anymore. This wasn't because I couldn't collaborate with him anymore. I don't care about any of that stuff. So that's why I felt it were important to finally put this out there, not just for all of you guys who've been very confused and who might actually be, emotionally a little choked up from this. I understand, ending things always sucks, but what's important for evolution is to close doors on things that no longer serve you or are no longer in your health's best interest, because it's really important to take care of your health, whether it be mental, physical, spiritual, whatever it is. I felt this were important for the people who actually watch and support what we have going on over here, who are just kind of sitting around waiting for that next thing. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you it's not going to be happening. And this was for me. This was for me to finally close the book on that chapter, to finally gain some clarity and peace. Now, if anybody comes and asks, obviously I can't stop millions of people to continue trickling in to ask questions. I can't stop that. But what I can do is hopefully direct them here to this video to help them understand. So now we can put an end to it. There is no more confusion. You can either unsubscribe, unfollow, and dip and go and leave and goodbye. Take care. Or you can accept it and say, okay, like, I'm ready to be here to see what's going on for your new chapter, because a lot of things have changed. If you look around the channel, a lot has evolved. Not only myself as a person, but the character that we've created. So a lot of things change. People change. Seasons change. It would be stupid of me to not embrace the things that need to be changed. And it's uncomfortable, and it makes you feel sick, and it makes you feel anxious, and it makes you feel scared. I've come to realize that all of that stuff just means you're on your way to progress, and life without progress is just boring. Support me or not, but I'm going to continue doing what I love to do with the people who love to see it. And I won't allow road bumps to get in the way of my progress and my path forward. This wasn't an impulsive video. This took some time, some thought. I really had to sit in silence for days and make sure that this was the right thing to do, and it had to be done. And I'll always be thankful and appreciative of the time, the people that I met, just all of it, man. The places I got to visit, the things I got to experience. I mean, if I could turn back the hands of time, I wouldn't change a damn thing. Why would you want to? You know, I found that there's things that I can do in my reality. If I don't like it, I can change it. It doesn't matter what it is. If there are things I'm not enjoying, there are things that are not bringing me happiness, that aren't bringing positive energy and spreading that, helping to spread that through the world, then I can change it. I don't want any part of anything that deviates from the path that I feel like I'm on. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your understanding. I know it's not what you're going to want to hear, but it's just the reality of things. I couldn't do it anymore, man. I had to establish boundaries, and these are my boundaries. So much love and respect to everybody that's watched this. I in no way, shape, or form mean any disrespect or any, this is not to defame. I mean no ill will towards Cory at all. He's a good person, and we need a lot more good people in this world, especially going forward. I can only hope that this helps the people who watch it sort of face the things that they've been avoiding, or to not be afraid of taking that step towards the uncomfortable, of the dumb things that we have to put up with in life, whether it's from ourselves or from other people. And I really hope that this resonates with Cory in one way or another. And you know, I wish the absolute best. I truly do. Thank you all for watching. Hello, everybody.
How I feel about it, it's like I wish their friendship didn't come to an end. Real talk, I really wish it didn't. Cause like I said, they one of my favorite YouTubers, and their collaboration, bro, was lit. I liked it. I've been watching their channel since I was young, like 12, 13 type shit. But like, it sucks to know they ain't gonna be making videos together no more. But like, they gonna always be one of my favorite YouTubers. Always. And I'm looking forward to meeting them both in the future. But yeah, y'all, it sucks. I ain't even happy no more. So if y'all like this video, man, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all want to see next, bro.